Hello everyone, welcome to chemistry class. We have been discussing the chapter number 3, elements, compound and mixtures, and today we will discuss the last part of this chapter, how we can separate various mixtures from one another. I'll just come straight away to the topic. Here it is, separating the components of the mixture. How we can separate different substances or components present in a mixture from each other. There are certain different types of methods. All such methods are physical methods. Mixture can be separated by physical methods only, and we'll learn some of these examples how the mixtures can be separated from each other. See, your syllabus you would have got from the school, chapter 1 and 2, that will be for your half yearly syllabus. This is what we are discussing is chapter number 3. Although it has been excluded for this year, it is cut for this year, but still I don't want to leave this chapter in middle. Only one video, that is in this particular video. This is the last video for this chapter number 3. So we can end this chapter. It is better that we learn the chapter completely rather than leaving in middle. So that is why I am making one more video. Then we can end this chapter also, although it will not be coming in the exam. So separating component in the mixture, as we have already known in the till the last class, mixture are impure substances. They are made up of by mixing different elements. It can be different elements mixed together, or it can be different compounds. So element or compounds can be mixed together, and what is coming as a result of that, we are getting an impure substance that is called as what, as a mixture. So we can separate different mixtures, or we can say different elements or compound present in a mixture by different methods. What are those methods? That we will see one by one now. First method, that is called as magnetic separation. The name of this method is magnetic separation. So we are using magnet in this case, and the magnetic substances can be separated. Like iron is magnetic in nature. It is attracted by a magnet. So if any mixture is containing iron, it can be separated using magnetic separation method. For example, we have one mixture taken, and that example is given here, mixture of iron fillings and chalk. So we have iron fillings, that is powdered form of iron only, iron fillings, and chalk powder. Both powders are there. Physically they are mixed together. And how we can separate? We will place a magnet over the mixture of iron fillings and chalk. As the magnet is brought closer to this mixture, iron fillings will get attracted towards the magnet and chalk will remain behind. So this is how we can say that we can separate the mixture. You can see in this photograph given here now, this is the mixture, and we have taken a magnet. Above you can see here is a magnet. So on this magnet, this is the magnet here, and towards the magnet you can see this black color mass that has deposited. This is of what? This black mass is of iron fillings. So this iron is attracted towards the magnet, and all this has totally it has collected together, and because of attraction towards the magnet, it is moving upwards. And below, what is left? That is the remaining chalk powder that is remaining behind. So this is how we can separate. This particular method is called what? It is magnetic separation. It is done in such kind of mixtures in which one substance is magnetic, one is not magnetic. Mixture, one is magnetic, iron is magnetic in nature, and the second substance, that is what in this mixture, is chalk. Chalk is non-magnetic. So one substance should be magnetic and another one should be non-magnetic. Magnetic substance will get attracted toward the magnet, the remaining one will remain behind. Next method now we will see, that is evaporation. That is commonly used to separate a solid from the solution. From a liquid, a solid can be separated. Like salt is present in sea water, in the ocean water salt is present, and from this water salt can be separated. Water is what? Water is liquid, and salt is a solid. Salt can be removed or can be taken out from the liquid sea water. That is, solid can be separated from the solution form. So let us see here what is done. The diagram is given here. So we are taking the solution, whatever substance we have to separate, its solution. Suppose we have to separate the salt from its solution, so we will take salt solution, or we can take sea water. So salt solution is taken in a china dish. That is, you can see in this diagram, this is the china dish, the container in which the solution is kept. So, and this is put over a flame. We are using fire to heat this substance, and then as heating is done, what will happen? The water will start boiling. After boiling, what will happen? Still the temperature will rise and it will start evaporating. That means water will start moving upwards in the form of what? In the form of the vapor. That is, water converts into water vapor and it moves into the air. It has left into the air because of heating, because 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of water. At this temperature, the water from the liquid will change into gaseous form, that is vapor form. So this process is giving us what? At the bottom, what will remain behind? Water has gone in the air in the form of vapor. What will leave behind is salt is left. So this is what is given in this line. You can see the water slowly evaporates, leaving back the salt as the residue. So salt and water can be separated by this method. So similarly, commercial salt, the common salt that we are using in our food, that is also made by this method. The common salt is obtained from seawater. So how it is done? You see in this photograph here, these are large areas of land, and in this seawater is put. तो seawater, अब इसको heat कैसे करेंगे? How we will heat? It is done using sunlight. Now in the open air it is kept, and when sunlight will fall on this from the sun, heat is coming and that heat will evaporate the water. Water will evaporate, and what will leave behind on this land will be salt, and then this salt is purified. It is subjected to various processes, and then it can be sold in the market. You can do this reading part, same things are given. So this same process is from the seawater we are getting common salt. So directly we cannot eat this from this land. First of all, it has to be crystallized, and then it has to be purified, and many processes that are there that are done in the factory. So that is all. Here is another method that is given in laboratory, how we can take, how we can separate a sand and salt mixture. Sand and salt, both are solid. Sand matlab रेत, salt you know already. So that is how we can separate two solids now. After evaporation, third method we will see how we can separate two solids. So for that, the method is called as dissolution and evaporation. What is the method name? It is dissolution. Dissolution matlab we are dissolving something, and then what we will do? And evaporate that thing. Two things are done. That is why the method dissolution and evaporation. तो पहले dissolution देखते हैं. First of all, we have taken sand and salt, mix them together. In what? We have made a mixture in water. Water के अंदर दोनों को mix कर देंगे. Now sand or salt, one of them will dissolve in water. Which one will dissolve in water? Sand does not dissolve in water, but salt easily dissolve in water. Salt you can try at home also. If you take some salt and try to dissolve in water, you will easily be able to dissolve it. Salt will easily dissolve in water. So when we take salt and sand and put in water, one thing, that is salt will dissolve in water. So till here the process is called as dissolution. The first part of this process is complete. This is called as dissolution. In simple words we can say dissolving. So what we have dissolved till now? We have dissolved salt in water. Sand has not dissolved. One of the substance in the mixture will dissolve, another one will not dissolve. After this, what we will get? We will get a mixture of sand, salt and water. You can see in the diagram labeling they have written. Now this mixture of sand, salt and water we are keeping to heat. So this mixture is heated or warmed, and on heating what will happen? On heating, water will start evaporating. Water will start evaporating, and we don't have to boil it completely. After some heating, after warming it for up to certain temperature, we have to take it, and then we have to filter it. So as you can see, we have taken a funnel here. This conical structure, you can see this one. This is what? This is called as funnel. FUNNEL. The funnel we have taken, and in that we have taken a filter paper. We have kept one filter paper in that, and we are filtering it now. So when we will put this mixture, as you can see, they are putting the mixture and it is going down into the funnel, and from there we are getting the drops of salt solution. Sand will remain upwards because sand has not dissolved in water. Sand is a solid still, it has not dissolved in water. So it will separate out on the filter paper above the flask, above the conical funnel, and the lower part what we are getting is salt solution. So first thing we have got, we have separated sand. अब salt solution को कैसे separate करते हैं? That is same thing that we have seen earlier, that is evaporation. So first thing, we will separate the sand using filtration. Second thing, we will separate the salt from the water using evaporation. So this is the method that is given here: dissolution and evaporation. Already I explained one of the solid. In this, what is there? Two solids are there. We are separating two solids from each other. Out of these two solids, one solid is soluble in liquid. What is that liquid? Mostly it is water only. It can be other liquids also. So I am not using the word water, I am using liquid. Any of the liquid can be there. So out of the two solids which are present in the mixture, one is able to dissolve in the liquid, another one is not able to dissolve, or another one is insoluble in liquid. Like in our example, what we have taken? We have taken sand and salt. Salt is soluble in water, sand is insoluble. So one thing is soluble and another one, sand, is insoluble. So that is what I told. One has to be soluble, another one has to be insoluble. The one which is insoluble, that can be separated by filtration, another one can be done by evaporation. So same experiment what I explained, what the diagram is given upwards, this particular diagram, that you can do the reading. Already I explained, same thing is written there. Next one is the fourth number point, that is distillation. Distillation is a little bit advanced method. So in this, what is done? It is almost purification of a liquid. Liquid is vaporized. In this case, evaporation of a liquid is done, and when the liquid is vaporized, it will become into vapors. Liquid को जो हम heat करेंगे, on heating liquid will convert into vapors, and these vapors are then condensed. Condensed means they will be cooled down. On cooling, what will happen? The vapors will again become into liquid. First we are taking a liquid, we are heating it. On heating, the liquid will change into gas, or we can say vapors. That same vapors or gas is again cooled down. On cooling, the gas will again become liquid. For example, we have taken impure water. Impure water, when we are heating, what will happen? It will become water vapor, and that same water vapor again we are cooling. On cooling, what will happen? Again the water vapor will come back into its original form, that is water vapor converts into water again. In this process, what is happening is only the water will convert into water vapor and water vapor will convert into water, but there are certain impurities which are in the water. They will be separated outside because of the change of the state of matter. Let us understand this in detail here. Here you can see some example they have given. What kind of mixture we can separate? Suppose salt is present in water. How we can separate? We can take the salt solution and then we can subject it to distillation. So when we will do distillation, only water will convert into water vapor. Salt will not be able to make any vapor. Salt vapor नहीं बन सकता है. Salt will remain salt only. It is a solid substance. Similarly, we can separate sand and water by distillation. जब हम distillation करेंगे, at that time water will move upwards in the form of gas and collect in another container. Sand will remain behind. Now you see this diagram. This is the setup that is shown for the distillation purpose. So this is how it is done. Now you understand this in details. First, in this container we are taking the mixture. What is the mixture we are taking? The two examples are given just above. Like we have taken salt water mixture. Salt or water साथ में present है, that is a mixture. Second type of mixture we can take, like we can take sand and water mixture. Sand is not able to dissolve in water and it can be separated using distillation also. Other methods are also there, but we can use distillation also. तो water को purify करने के लिए distillation use किया जा सकता है. In the chemistry lab we are using distilled water. We are not using normal tap water. It is distilled water which we are using, and the distilled water is obtained by the process of distillation. This is the method which is used to obtain distilled water. Distilled water is totally pure. It is 99.99% pure water. It is not having almost rarely any impurities are there, so that the chemical experiments or the reactions are not affected. So this is the experimental setup. Here we are taking the container and we have taken the mixture here, and below you can see fire is there. We are heating this substance. So जब heat करेंगे, what will happen? Water will evaporate. Water will evaporate and convert into water vapor. It will move upwards then, and on moving upward it is connected to a tube. This tube is given here. You can see the name is called as Liebig condenser. तो पहले क्या हुआ था? In the container, in the flask, in this flask where we are heating. On heating, what will happen? Evaporation will happen. Due to heating, evaporation will happen. After that, it moves forward. Water vapor moves forward towards the right side. I am showing with the help of arrow. It moves towards the right side. As it moves towards the right side, it will become cool down. It will cool down, and it again, what will happen now? The second process will start, that is condensation. So first evaporation is done, and then condensation is done. On condensation, what is happening? Due to cooling down, the vapors, the water vapors which are present in the Liebig's condenser, they will again cool down, and water vapor will convert into water. Now what has come from there? That was impure water. In this side, impure water was there, but what we are getting on the right side is pure water, because only the water molecules are able to evaporate. Evaporation होता है जब heating करते हैं. So evaporation will be done only and only of the water molecules. In the water, many impurities are there, many pollutants are there. Some in our example, in this mixture, what we have taken, sand and water, or if we have taken salt and water, तो salt या फिर sand evaporate नहीं हो पाएगा. It will remain in that same flask. It will not be able to come forward. So this is how we can continue the process of distillation. It is used for purifying the water. In this Liebig condenser, now how the condensation is done, you notice here two things are given, water in and water out. That means in this pipe, two pipes are connected here. One side is water inlet, means water is moving inside, एंड वाटर विल एंटर दिस कंडेंसर. इस पाइप में से, इस ट्यूब से वाटर एंटर करता है, एंड फ्रॉम द अदर पाइप वाटर विल कम आउटसाइड. व्हाट दिस वाटर इज डूइंग? वाटर इज हेल्पिंग इन कूलिंग द वाटर, वट एवर वेपर्स आर देयर. यहाँ से इवेपोरेशन हो रहा है, फ्लास्क में से इवेपोरेशन होकर के वेपर्स आ रहे हैं. दिस वेपर्स आर हॉट एंड वी हैव टू कूल द वेपर्स. सो फॉर कूलिंग द वेपर्स ओनली वी आर यूजिंग दिस वाटर सप्लाई. The water in and water outlet that is given here, that is only for cooling the vapors which are present here. So this is all about the distillation process. Next one is fractional distillation. This is an advanced method of distillation, and it is used for what? It is used for separating the liquids. Distillation, normal distillation is used for what? Separating the solid and liquid. Salt and water. Salt is solid, water is liquid. Similarly, sand and water. Sand is solid, water is liquid. तो solid और liquid को separate करने के लिए distillation है. But if two liquids are there, they are mixed together, how we will separate? For example, oil and water are present. Just a simple example I have taken. How we will separate? We can use fractional distillation. It is commonly used in petroleum industries. Petroleum products are all mixed together below the earth. They are present together, and these are together in a combined manner. They are called as petroleum only. From the petroleum or the crude oil, it is called as crude oil. From the crude oil, refining process is done, and we are getting different substance of products like petrol, diesel, kerosene, and many more things are obtained. So how all the different fuels are separated from each other, that method is called as fractional distillation, and this method is based upon the difference in boiling point. Different liquids have different boiling points, and if there is a difference of more than 20 degrees Celsius in the boiling point, then we can separate them using fractional distillation. Means different liquids which we have to separate, they should be able to boil at different temperatures, and the difference in their boiling point should be minimum 20 degrees Celsius. The more it can be, that is not a problem. Minimum 20 degrees should be there. So now we will understand this fractional distillation. In this we are using a special kind of substance, that is fractionating column, in which the different liquids can be separated. So let us see the diagram, then we will understand this particular process. Now it is a similar setup. If we see both the diagrams of the left and right side, same thing is there, only one thing is separate that I show in this box. This is the fractionating column. Rest of the diagram is same, no other things are there. Fractionating column is a new thing that is coming in fraction, and in this kind of fractional distillation. Now in this you can see here, more volatile and less volatile liquid. What is the meaning of volatile? Volatile means which can easily evaporate. Some liquids are there, if we are keeping them in open air, then they will evaporate. Normally evaporation is done on heating, that is evaporation only. बट वॉलेटाइल और इवेपोरेशन में डिफरेंस क्या हो गया? इवेपोरेशन इज ऑन हीटिंग, वॉलेटाइल सब्सटेंस कैन convert into vapors without heating, like petrol if it is kept open in the air then easily it will evaporate. You have to keep it closed, so that is a volatile liquid. That is an example I gave you. Similarly, many more liquids are there, like kerosene oil. If you are keeping it open in the air, then it will easily evaporate. You will think where this kerosene has gone. Actually it has converted into vapors and it is lost in the air. So we have to keep these substances closed because they are volatile liquids. So if here you can notice, in this fractionating column you can notice here, so the more volatile liquid will rise upwards and less volatile liquid will separate downwards. What I am telling, more volatile means what? The substance which is having more boiling point, which boils at a high temperature, and less volatile means which is having less boiling point, which is easily boiling. So here you can see separate columns are there. These are fractionating columns. So the liquid which is having less boiling point, it will separate out in the lower column. Then the liquid which is having the maximum boiling point, it will separate out in upper column or the topmost column. So this is how different liquids will separate. जिस भी substance का boiling point कम है वो पहले separate हो जाएगा. जैसे जैसे boiling point increase होता जाएगा, different liquids will come out separately in different fractions. All will separate in different fractions. Here in this particular diagram 3 fractions are giving, so we can separate 3 different fuels or liquids in this method. So this is what is the setup. Now how the process is going on, same thing as we have done in distillation. We will take the liquid mixture, whatever substance we have to separate, that mixture is heated using the burner. You can see here is a burner, and using this we have to heat this. On heating, what will happen? The liquid will evaporate. So there evaporation starts, and the liquid which is more volatile, it will move forward first of all, and it will easily come forward into the Liebig condenser. In the condenser, cooling process is going on, and due to the cooling, what will happen? We will get the liquid again back. जो भी liquid यहाँ से evaporate होके आया है, तो सबसे पहले आएगा, that will condense first of all. After some time, temperature will rise. Second number पे क्या आएगा? तो सबसे पहले आएगा the substance which is having less boiling point, that will come first because of the less temperature. Then secondly, the substance which is having more boiling point, that will come. Now at different times different liquids will come, so we can change the receiver here. We can take different containers, and one by one we can collect different liquids or different substances which are obtained by this process. So this is what is fractional distillation. Which kind of liquids can be separated? Like alcohol from water. Alcohol and water we can dissolve easily. Alcohol is boiling at 78 degrees Celsius. Water is boiling at 100 degrees Celsius. Boiling point is different for both of them. You can notice what is the difference of boiling point. 100 minus 78, that is 22 degrees Celsius. What I told in the beginning, minimum boiling point difference कितना होना चाहिए? 20. Here it is 22. So because the boiling point difference is more than 20, we can separate water and alcohol or ethanol using fractional distillation. So same method will be applied. Here you can see in this diagram, same method will be applied. The mixture of alcohol and water will be taken in the container. On heating, what will happen? पहले कौन सा substance जाएगा condenser में? First of all, the boiling point 78 will come. So first of all, alcohol will go here. Alcohol का दूसरा नाम ethanol. So alcohol or ethanol will go there, and it will convert into what? Into a liquid again. Ethanol will boil, alcohol will boil. Here it will convert into vapors. The vapors of alcohol will continue forward in the condenser. They will condense, and we will collect them again back in the liquid form in one container. Afterwards, what will happen? We will not stop the heating, we will continue the heating. 78 degrees Celsius पे alcohol separate हो गया है. After that we will continue heating, and when the temperature comes as 100 degrees Celsius, जैसे 100 temperature होगा तो इसी mixture में से क्या produce होगा? Water vapor will start arising. Water will convert into water vapors, and then same thing, it will move forward, it will come to the condenser, and again due to condensation, due to cooling down, the water vapors will convert into water molecules, and we can take another jar. Now we have to change this receiver. Don't take the same one, नहीं तो दोबारा से मिक्सचर बन जाएगा. So we have to change the receiver now, and we will take another flask, and we will take or collect water in the second flask or second container of receiver. So this is how we can separate. One more example is given. that is of benzene from toluene. Benzene is a liquid, it is a chemical having boiling point 80 degrees Celsius. Toluene is another chemical, its boiling point is 110 degrees Celsius. So you can notice the temperature difference, that is 30 degrees Celsius. So easily we can separate them by fractional distillation. Last example, different fractions of crude oil. As I already told, petroleum products can be separated from the crude oil. Crude oil is obtained below the earth's crust in the petroleum reserves where naturally petroleum is obtained. And from the crude oil we can get different products, like we can get petrol, we can get diesel, we can get kerosene oil, we can get asphalt, that is a wax, and many more substances are there that are petroleum products. All these can be separated. This is done where crude oil is separated, where in the petroleum refineries. There are separate factories for that, they are called as petroleum refineries. In that it is done. Now we will move to the sixth point, that is using separating funnel. We are using a funnel. This funnel is what? It is a glass bulb, and at the lower part of this glass bulb what is connected is a stopcock, or like a stopper. It is put there. You see now in the diagram, it will be more clear. Here it is given in the right side of this book, of this page. You can see this is a stopcock at the lower end of this, and above it is a funnel like structure. Funnel like structure means like a conical funnel we have seen in the distillation, similar to that only, but only one difference is coming, that is a stopcock is there. Using this we can open it or close the flow of the liquid. If we have to stop the liquid flowing downwards, we can close this. It is just operating like a normal tap only. So this is a stopcock. Using this we can operate or control the flow of liquid. So this is used for separating what? It is used for separating two or more immiscible liquid. Immiscible means which do not dissolve in each other. Like oil cannot dissolve in water. If you take oil and water together, then oil will form a layer above the water. You can see here in the photograph that is given, water is collected downwards, oil has collected upwards. Oil is lighter than water. Because of that, oil will keep on floating above water. If we have to separate this mixture, what we'll use? We will use separating funnel. And in the separating funnel, we will take both of these substances, and here you can see in this diagram, we have taken the mixture of the liquid. Above one layer of oil is there, and below what will be there? Water will be there. If we have to separate oil and water, and then we will turn on the stopcock. जैसे हम stopcock on करेंगे, what substance will come first of all? सबसे नीचे क्या है? In this water is there, so first of all water will come downwards. Afterward we will keep on observing. We are able to see it is transparent. This funnel is transparent, and when we will see all the water has come outside and oil has come downwards now, then we can close this stopcock. We will take this beaker and remove it. We will take another beaker, and then again we will turn on the stopcock. Then this time what will come? Oil will come. So oil and water we can take in two different separate beakers, and this is how we can separate the mixture of immiscible liquids, the liquids which are not able to mix or dissolve in each other. We can separate by this method. Point number 7 is sublimation. We have studied this in earlier class also. Sublimation is the process in which a solid directly changes into gas. Normally solid liquid में convert होता है, but in some cases solid convert into gas, or we can say vapor form. So such kind of substances are sublimating in nature, and this process is called as sublimation. What are those substances which are sublimating? Like ammonium chloride. Its chemical formula is NH4Cl. So this is ammonium chloride. This is sublimating in nature. Solid ammonium chloride, that is white color powder. It converts into a gaseous form, or we can say vapor form. On heating it will not convert into liquid directly, it converts into gas. Second is iodine, then naphthalene or camphor. All these substances without melting, they do not melt and convert into liquid, they directly convert into gas. So that is sublimation. Also one more thing, if we are cooling the vapors of this substance, then again we can get solid. So from the solid we can get gas, and from the gas again we can get solid also. It is a reversible process. Here example is given how we can separate a mixture of sublimating substance. So if we have taken some ammonium chloride and sand, अमोनियम क्लोराइड सब्लिमेशन होता है, सैंड का सब्लिमेशन नहीं हो सकता है. सो व्हाट वी विल डू, वी कैन सेपरेट दिस मिक्सचर इजीली. Mixture of ammonium chloride and sand can be easily separated using sublimation. How is it done? You can see the setup that is shown in this diagram. We'll take the mixture in a china dish. This is the china dish I have shown with the red color. In this we have taken the mixture. You can see the mixture is kept there. Above this we have taken a funnel. This is the funnel. We have covered the mixture with funnel, and at the upper part we have placed the cotton, because an opening is there, we have to close the opening also. And below this we have to heat this, and on heating what will happen? On heating, ammonium chloride, NH4Cl, ammonium chloride will start converting into वेपर्स और गैसियस फॉर्म. अमोनियम क्लोराइड इज सब्लिमेटिंग इन नेचर, उसका सब्लिमेशन स्टार्ट हो जाएगा. एंड ऑन सब्लिमेशन व्हाट विल हैपन? इट विल कन्वर्ट इनटू वेपर्स, सो इट विल स्टार्ट अराइजिंग अपवर्ड्स. इट विल बिकम गैसियस फॉर्म. अमोनियम क्लोराइड गैसियस और वेपर्स form can be easily observed here, but upside we have closed it with the cotton. It cannot move outside. It will remain in the funnel only, and all the ammonium chloride will collect in the funnel, and at the base what will remain there is sand only will remain, and ammonium chloride will collect upwards. This is how we can separate both the substances from each other. The last point, that is the separation is remaining here, that we will complete. Chromatography. This is the last method that is used. Chromatography is used to separate a mixture of soluble substances. Earlier we have seen in immiscible substances how we are able to separate using the process of separating funnel, but there are certain substances which are soluble in each other. How we will separate them? For that we have the method known as the chromatography. For example, the pigments of the flower. In the flower the colors are coming. Flowers are different colors. Why they are different color? Because of the presence of pigments, and those pigments or different colors can be separated from each other using chromatography. It is a long practical you will do in higher classes in the chemistry lab. Then ink is also containing different substances, or we can say different colors are there which are mixed together, and we can separate all of them using the process of chromatography. How it is, on what principle it is based? It is based on the principle of adsorption. Adsorption क्या होता है? It is a phenomena in which a substance is adsorbed, means it forms a layer on the surface of another substance. So here it is given one substance that is adsorbed, and it is called as adsorbate. It forms a layer on the surface of another substance which is called as adsorbent. Adsorbate layer बना लेता है adsorbent के ऊपर. What is adsorbate and adsorbent? Now we will understand in this process in detail now. Before the process in detail, you see what are the examples given here. Alumina यानी कि aluminium oxide, दूसरा होता है silica और silicon dioxide, और cellulose like paper we can say. All these substances are called as adsorbent. All these substances are used as adsorbent. Most of the cases paper only is used. So अभी हम जो experiment यहाँ पे explain करेंगे, in that also we will use paper only. Most of the cases filter paper is used, and special type of filter paper, that is Whatman No. 1 filter paper, is generally used for chromatography. It is called as chromatographic paper. So normal paper also we can use, but it is not that much useful. Special paper should be available, that is Whatman No. 1 filter paper बोल सकते हैं, या फिर chromatographic paper. So this is working as an adsorbent. What is adsorbent? What is adsorbate? Let us now understand here in this diagram, in this photograph that is given. We are separating in this activity the separate pigments of the ink. Ink के अंदर अलग-अलग pigments होते हैं, and we are separating them. So this we have taken a paper. What is this? Chromatographic paper. And we have taken the mixture in the jar, in the beaker. This paper is dipped in the mixture, and what will happen now? Now adsorption will start. This paper will start absorbing some of the water, and water will start moving upwards. This water, or we can say not exactly water, the mixture will start moving upwards, and as it will move upwards, what will happen? Adsorption की वजह से क्या होगा? All the separate layers of the, or we can say separate pigments, you can see in the second photograph, in all the separate pigments which are present in the ink, they will separate from each other. Why they are able to separate? Because of their ability to move upwards. Some of the pigments are able to move faster, some of the pigments are able to move slower. So due to that difference in their ability to move upwards, they will separate from each other. The one which is moving forward will be easily visible here. Here you can see different colors. They are the colors of the same pigment of the same ink. So same color ink is obtained by the mixture of different substances, and all of them can be separated by this method. So this is how it is done. We are not going into more details because we don't have to discuss this in that much details here. You can read this activity only, that is telling the same thing only. So do the reading of all these activities, you will be able to understand all these things. Here a summary is given again of the same points, so no need to repeat the same points again and again. Only for reading you can do so. That is all about this chapter. Last point is about difference between mixture and compound. We will read this differentiate between, and then we will end the chapter. So what is a mixture and compound? What is the difference basically? First point to the fifth point, one by one we will read all of them. First one is impure, that is mixture. Second substance is pure, that is compound. Next one about the melting and the boiling point. In case of the mixture, it does not have a fixed melting point and does not have a fixed boiling point. Mixture का boiling और melting point fixed नहीं होता है, but in the case of compound it is fixed. Next one, the components can be present in any proportion like air. Air के अंदर different gases होती हैं and different gases can be in any percentage, or we can say any ratio, not percentage, in any ratio. Like in polluted air more carbon dioxide is there, or in the village areas, in the city, in the outermost part of the area, in the outer areas of the city, we can say clean air is there. In the center of the city, in the marketplaces, polluted air is there. So same air is having different amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Rather on the other side of the compound, it is having a fixed proportion, a fixed ratio is there. Like in the case of water, 2:1 is obtained. 2 parts of hydrogen and 1 part of oxygen is there, then only H2O, that is water, is obtained. So fixed proportion is there. We can separate the different component of the mixture by physical method. All the physical method today we have seen, like filtration, like evaporation, like sedimentation, like distillation. All these are physical methods, but the physical method cannot be useful. We cannot use the physical method for the case of the compound. There we have to use chemical methods like electrolysis, or many more methods we have seen earlier in the class. Last one is the components show their individual properties in the case of mixture, but individual properties are lost in the case of compound. How it is done we have seen in the properties of compound in details, I have explained there. So that is all about this chapter. We have finished this. No need to do the exercise part because this chapter is not in the syllabus right now, but because we have already started the chapter, I did not expect it to be stopped in the middle only. So I have just completed all the topics here. So that is all for today's class.